Mr. Speaker, we should be experiencing one of the greatest economic booms in our history as we emerge from COVID. Yet prices are climbing, consumer sentiment is plunging, and there are more than 9 million open jobs without workers to fill them. That's the most ever. In my state of Kansas, we have 3.6 jobs available for every job seeker. Subsidizing people not to work and spending without restraint is stalling out this recovery and causing inflation. In May, core inflation rose at its fastest pace since 1992. That's because Democrats' untargeted spending has acted like kindling for inflation. There's too much money chasing too few goods. Recent surveys showed that 70% of Americans are concerned that President Biden's spending plans could lead to inflation. But if you've ever filled up your gas tank recently or entered a grocery store, you know that it's already there. Instead of working to quickly reopen and prioritize getting America back to work, upon entering office, President Biden took his eyes off the ball and squandered the recovery that President Trump had handed to him. In the first 5 months of 2021, the current administration has added 500,000 fewer jobs than the last 5 months of 2020. President Biden should be concerned about his economic crisis. Biden's slow growth agenda calls for $6 trillion in government spending with $3 trillion in new taxes. That would crush small and mid-sized companies, resulting in far fewer jobs down the road. One of the most anti-growth policies in President Biden's agenda is his plan to revert America's business tax rate to one of the worst in the world again at 28%, a move that would return us to the old tax code that incentivized jobs to be shipped overseas. Biden's budget even acknowledged that a real recovery isn't their priority. It only forecasts a meager 2% GDP growth by 2023, with it dropping even lower until 2029. The American people should contrast Biden's tax and spend agenda with what Republicans have done and are fighting to do so. In 2017, we put the American people first by passing a pro-growth tax cut code while removing massive amounts of government regulation. That created an economic atmosphere that enabled wages to grow for historically disadvantaged workers, brought the unemployment rate down to the lowest in 50 years, and allowed more people to find jobs in America than at any point in our history. The income gap was even shrinking as lower income wages were increasing faster. We need to get back to that. It's not hard to see the impact that common sense pro-growth policies can make. Our focus should be on filling available jobs and rebuilding our economy, not to line the pocket of progressive special interest groups with millions in federal spending, as Biden's agenda would do. It's hard to ignore that across the country today, the 6 states with the lowest unemployment rates all have Republican leadership. Mr. Speaker, President Biden and Speaker Pelosi need to prioritize economic recovery, not unrestrained government spending. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.